For years, Emily Bennett lived under her mother's control, who had convinced the court that Emily's father, Daniel, was unfit. But behind closed doors, reality was different. Neglect, hidden bruises, and unheard cries for help. But in a courtroom filled with deception, proving the truth isn't easy. Will Emily find the courage to speak before it's too late? Before we begin, let us know where you're listening from today. The towering courthouse loomed over Emily Bennett as she stepped out of the car, her fingers twisting the hem of her oversized sweater. Her mother, Laura Bennett, strutted ahead, heels clicking sharply on the pavement. Today was a day Laura had convinced herself she would win, just as she had 3 years ago when she stripped Daniel Carter, Emily's father, of his parental rights. But something felt different this time. Emily could feel it in her bones. The air was crisp, carrying the weight of the past and the tension of what was to come. As they approached the entrance, a man in a well-pressed suit greeted them. Richard Hayes, Laura's lawyer, leaned in. "Stick to the plan," he whispered. "Remember, Emily's worsening condition is due to leukemia, not neglect." Laura rolled her eyes. "I know, Richard." But her irritation deepened when a security officer confiscated the flask she had carelessly left in her bag. Her face burned with embarrassment, but she pushed forward, determined to maintain her image. As they moved inside, Emily's heart skipped a beat. Across the hallway, standing tall in a navy blue suit, was her father. Daniel Carter looked every bit the father Emily had missed. His dark eyes softened when they met hers, and for the first time in months, she felt warmth seep into her chest. Tentatively, she raised her hand in a small wave. A smile tugged at Daniel's lips as he mirrored the gesture. Her mother was too distracted to notice when Emily, drawn by an invisible force, stepped forward toward him. The moment she reached him, Daniel knelt, his arms wide open. Emily didn't hesitate. She ran into his embrace, the fabric of his suit dampening as tears welled in her eyes. "I miss you, Dad," she whispered. "I miss you more, sweetheart," he murmured back. "Are you okay?" Before she could answer, a sharp voice cut through the moment. "Stay away from her!" Laura's fury was palpable as she yanked Emily back, her grip tight around the girl's wrist. "You have no right." Jonathan held his ground, his expression calm but firm. "We'll see about that." Inside the courtroom, the air was thick with tension. Judge Henry Calloway took his seat, his expression unreadable. "We are here today in the matter of Carter versus Bennett. The purpose of these proceedings is to determine what is in the best interest of the child, Emily Carter." Both lawyers presented their opening statements. Olivia Grant, Daniel's lawyer, spoke first. "Your Honor, this case is about more than custody, it's about safety. Emily has suffered neglect at the hands of her custodial parent. We will present financial records, medical evidence, and testimony to prove that Laura Bennett is unfit." Richard countered, maintaining that Laura had done her best in a difficult situation. "Parenting a sick child is challenging, Your Honor. There have been mistakes, but they do not warrant the drastic measure of removing Emily from her mother's care." But the evidence said otherwise. A forensic accountant detailed Laura's financial records, proving she had squandered child support money on luxury items while leaving Emily's medical bills unpaid. A private investigator revealed footage of Laura at bars when she should have been at Emily's hospital visits. Then came the testimony that silenced the courtroom. "Emily has described severe neglect," Maria Turner, Emily's court-appointed advocate, testified. "She has been left alone for extended periods and has endured verbal and physical abuse." Laura's posture stiffened. She shot Emily a glare that sent a shiver down the girl's spine. During a break, Laura dragged Emily into the restroom, her grip painfully tight on the young girl's wrist. The door slammed shut behind them, the cold fluorescent lights casting harsh shadows on Laura's furious face. "Don't you dare say anything more," she hissed, her breath reeking of the cigarette she had snuck outside. "If you do, I'll make sure you never see him again." Emily trembled, her heart pounding in her chest. "Mom, please, no." Laura cut her off, stepping forward until she was towering over her daughter. "You think he cares about you? He just wants to hurt me. You're nothing to him, and if you make me look bad, you will regret it." Tears welled in Emily's eyes, but she bit her lip, holding them back. Laura grabbed her chin roughly, forcing her to look up. "You better smile when we walk back in there. Act normal. If anyone asks, you tripped and fell earlier. Understand?" Emily nodded quickly, her body shaking. "Say it," Laura demanded. "I tripped and fell," Emily whispered. Laura smirked and released her. "Good girl." Now fix your face. We have a courtroom to return to. When court resumed, Judge Calloway turned to Emily. I'd like to hear from you now. Emily's hands trembled as she met her father's gaze. His eyes, filled with unspoken encouragement, steadied her. With a deep breath, she reached up and removed her wig. Gasps filled the courtroom as the bruises on her scalp were revealed. Mom drinks a lot, she said, her voice shaking but determined. When she's drunk, she gets angry. She forgets my medicine. She locks it away so I can't reach it. Sometimes she throws things at me when she's upset, and I have to hide until she calms down. I get so scared because I don't know when she's going to have one of her bad days. She took a deep breath, her small hands gripping the edge of the table. There have been times when I've had to go without my medicine for days. I feel really sick, but I can't tell anyone because she says it'll make us both look bad. She tells me it's my fault for making her stressed and that I shouldn't be such a burden. Emily's voice cracked and she wiped a tear from her cheek. One night I woke up feeling so weak and I crawled to the kitchen, hoping she had forgotten to lock the cabinet. But it was locked, like always. I begged her to open it, but she told me to stop being dramatic and go back to bed. I couldn't even get up the stairs on my own. She turned to the judge, desperation in her eyes. Please don't make me go back there. Laura shot up. Lies, she shrieked. She's lying. The gavel cracked against the judge's desk. Sit down, Miss Bennett. Tears ran down Emily's cheeks as she continued. She hit me earlier, during the break. She threatened me. Her voice dropped to a whisper. I don't want to go home with her. I want to live with my dad. The courtroom was silent. Rebecca stood. Your Honor, given Emily's testimony and the overwhelming evidence, we request immediate custody transfer. Richard's voice lacked conviction as he suggested counseling instead. Even he knew the case was lost. Judge Calloway took a long pause before speaking. The court finds that Laura Bennett has engaged in neglect and abuse. Custody of Emily Carter is awarded to her father, Daniel Carter, effective immediately. A cry of relief escaped Daniel as he reached for his daughter, pulling her into his arms. Emily clung to him, sobbing into his shoulder, the overwhelming flood of emotions making her body tremble. She gripped his suit tightly, as if afraid that letting go would make this moment disappear. He stroked her hair gently, whispering, You're safe now, sweetheart. You're safe. Across the room, Laura's face twisted in fury. You'll regret this, she screamed, her voice raw with rage and desperation. She thrashed against the officers holding her back, her shrieks echoing through the courtroom. This isn't over. You hear me? Emily barely heard her. The pounding of her heart, the warmth of her father's arms, and the relief surging through her drowned out everything else. For the first time in years, she felt safe. Daniel pulled back slightly, brushing the tears from her cheeks. You're so brave, Emily. I'm so proud of you. She looked up at him, her lips trembling, and whispered, I was so scared. I know, he murmured, holding her close again. But you never have to be scared again. Rebecca, Daniel's lawyer, stepped forward, offering Emily a reassuring smile. You did the right thing today. Emily nodded, sniffling, her body still trembling with the weight of everything that had just transpired. She felt lighter, but exhaustion settled deep in her bones. As officers dragged Laura from the room, her screams faded into the distance, finally losing their grip on Emily's soul. She closed her eyes, sinking into the safety of her father's embrace. At last, the nightmare was over. Days later, Emily settled into her father's home. The walls were warm, adorned with photos of happier times. She felt lighter, as though a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. One evening, as she sat beside Daniel by the pool, he signed to her in their secret language. I love you, my girl. She grinned, signing back. I love you too, Dad. And for the first time in a long time, she truly believed everything would be okay. As the judge's gavel echoed through the courtroom, the decision was final. Emily would no longer suffer in silence. Justice had been served, and she was finally safe in the arms of her father, away from the pain and neglect she had endured for so long. But while her battle was over, many children out there continue to face similar struggles, their voices unheard, their truths buried under deception and fear. Now, we turn to you, the listener. What do you think about Emily's story? If you were in her shoes, what would you have done? If you were the judge, would you have made the same decision? And more importantly, if you suspected a child was suffering, would you step in to help? Stories like Emily's remind us of the importance of listening, believing, and taking action when it matters most. Let us know your thoughts. What would you have done? The conversation doesn't end here.